say, just take one thing away from this video for food for thought. Either you're sitting on the couch or you're driving home from work and something happens and you have no cell phone coverage. How are you going to contact the people that matter most to you right then and there with what you know right now? So recently, Julian Hotel Oscar 8 Sierra Tango November. Have to think about it. You know who I'm talking about. One of my favorite YouTubers in the ham radio realm. Puts out great content. A few days ago, as I record this, he put out a video that I thought was very good. And it got some of the POTA enthusiasts a little worked up. To sum up, Julian's all about targeted communications, off-grid communications, EmComms, if you will. And he gave POTA kind of the, it's not the best thing for getting your comm skills up for emergency situations, off-grid comms, that kind of thing. And as a guy whose channel is a lot of parks on the air, and a bit of the preparedness mindset of a off-grid comms, I have to say, I fully agree with him. POTA is a wonderful thing. It's really breathed life into the hobby of ham radio. It gets middle-aged, lazy guys like myself off our lazy butts and out on the Ice Age Trail here. And there are some really good things about POTA as far as honing your ham radio hobby skills, right? The game of POTA is just perfect for that. And it is a game, right? It's nothing but a game. A fantastic game that I enjoy to play when I can. Just look at how wonderfully they have the website laid off, the gamification of it all, right? You go on your page, you see all the participation PDFs that you can win, and all the progress bars and charts, and the states you activated, filled in. All that stuff was wonderfully designed to get your engagement, gamify it, give you something to keep going out to the parks, right? High scores for individual parks, all that kind of stuff. And it is wonderful. Now, with the gamification of POTA, I don't think anyone can argue that gives you an incentive to go out more, to beat your score, to add more to your progress bars. In doing so, with all those extra reps, you're going to come out with what works for you and what doesn't, right? What's the right radio for you in your style? If you want to sit on a park bench, or if you want to hike down a trail and find a nice little spot with a view, or all of the above and more. You get radios dialed in, you get battery sizes dialed in, you get your coax, antenna choices, all that stuff you sort out and get dialed in. And a lot of the time you have several options. You have multiple tools in your toolbox for as what you want to do with portable ham radio. You find ways that work for you to organize stuff. You get reps in with your radio. You learn it inside and out. Without even looking at it, you can find the settings to adjust your filters, all that kind of stuff. So with that, there's really not much of an argument that doing parks on the air, doing summits on the air does help your skills for targeted communications, emergency communications, off-grid communications. But in my view, that's pretty much where all the on-air games leave you. It gets you out, it gets you playing with your equipment, it keeps you active, it's a good thing. But there was a point that Julian was trying to make, and I believe it got lost because too many people were either turned off because that hurt their feelings and they wanted to go watch the whatever ham tuber that was live streaming, or they focus in on leaving a comment telling him how wrong he is. All right, I just wrapped up a quick Parks on the Air activation for the POTA Mule Challenge. I got 22 contacts in about 26 minutes, so pretty quick work. And that included hunting 2 other stations. So that could be another argument that Parks on the Air, Summits on the Air, excuse me, I got sweat in my eyes, is a good practice or training, if you will, for emergency comms. Because you get a pileup going, it gets some stress going, makes you have to pull out call signs and all that kind of stuff. You know, a lot in the tactical world, they like to supplement their training with like IPSC or Steel Challenge or 3-gun, because while the stresses are not the same, there is a stress evoked when there's a shot timer by your ear and there's a crowd of people over analyzing your every move. That argument, while it sounds logical, I will strongly disagree with when it comes to doing on-the-air activations, running a pile up to be training for emergency comms. Sure, it's stress-inducing the first couple times you do it, but then you get used to it, and you just form a pattern or a habit or a technique to pull out a call sign, and it's a random call sign, right? I mean, you may get the same contacts over and over again, and there may be individuals that you know exactly who they are just by hearing the first 2 or 3 letters of their call sign. But that's a far cry from what you would be wanting to do for emergency communications, off-grid communications, targeted communications, right? But that is the point of his video and a lot of videos that he makes and others like him, like a tech prepper and stuff. Yes, getting out in the field or on the trail or in the mountains or wherever with your portable kit, practicing setting things up, finding out what works for you and what doesn't is great. Just general ham radio skills, but it's not going to help you out a lot with targeted off-grid communications. I mean, I'm not going to pack up my radio gear, hike out in the middle of nowhere, and start calling CQ in 20 meters to try to contact my neighbors, friends, and family. I got other methods to do that, and I practice those methods, and that's the gist of it is, yes, doing the Pack Mule Challenge and soda and that kind of stuff and having a QRP kit, but if you don't know who you're going to contact, when you're going to contact them, what information you need to relay, how to establish that initial contact in the first place, just take one thing away from this video for food for thought. Either you're sitting on the couch or you're driving home from work and something happens and you have no cell phone coverage. How are you going to contact the people that matter most to you right then and there with what you know right now? I don't think you're going to a park and calling CQ POTA. And that is the point, I believe, that Julian Oscar Hotel 8 Tango November, I forgot the hotel in there somewhere. I'm sorry.